Okay, we're sitting at the Bird and Butterfly Sanctuary in Washington Park on the south side of Chicago. I grew up in the park. I ran cross country for Inglewood High School, University of Wisconsin, University of Chicago, University of Chicago Track Club around this park. I played basketball in the field house, swam in the pool, played Little League football and pickup football down the way. So this is not part of my hood. I love it.
We're here with Sam Greenlee in Chicago, Illinois, in Washington Park. This is the new Swahili TV. We're here to talk about your film, The Spook Who Sat by the Door. I wanted to go more in depth since last time we spoke and talk more about the film and what happened on the set, the actors, the directors, and your co-writing the screenplay. Tell me first, who decided to produce a film of The Spook Who Sat by the Door?
I did.
How did that come about?
Well, I was in Mykonos working on my second published novel.
Greek Islands?
Yes. And I met a young man about my same age named Mel Clay. And we used to gather in my workroom and exchange pages of what he was working on and what I was working on. And one day we were smoking a joint, drinking some wine, and I told him about this idea I had that I called the nigger who sat by the door at that time. And he said, look, man, what you're doing is important, but this is vital. You got to write this. Put a hold on it. So I thought about it. He went into Athens, came back a week or 10 days later, and I showed him the first chapter of what became The Spook Who Sat by the Door. So when I finished the first draft of the novel, we got to work on the screenplay. We would sit down and decide which pages he was going to render, which I was going to render. And he'd go home and come back the next day, and we'd look at it and do the same thing. So
before the novel was even published, you started writing on the screenplay.
Yeah.
You already knew that you wanted to make this into a film.
Exactly.
How hard was it to receive funding and financing for this film? And who did you go to?
We went to the community. Most of the money we got came from black investors.
Which community?
The black community. Our community, black community.
Around the world?
Most
or
of it,
just in Chicago?
Most of it came out of the States. We had a few foreign investors. Most of them were ordinary black people. We had one welfare mother put up her savings. We had doctors, attorneys, entrepreneurs. We had one white man who put up a good buck. It was international. And we shot it. We raised funds as we shot. We didn't wait until we had all the money.
How much was your budget?
$1 million.
$1 million?
Yeah.
And you knew with that you can get your message across and get it completed.
Yep.
Did you get the $1 million?
What's that?
We
got the $1 million.
You got the $1 million.
But we ran out of money, about $150,000 short. And there was a consortium in Washington of black investors who were considering putting up the money. One of them said, wait a minute, let's check out Sam Greenlee. He's in Chicago. I know Jesse Jackson. Let me ask Jesse. And Jesse told him not to put up the money. That's when we had to go to United Artists to get the money.
So Jesse Jackson told who exactly not to put up the money for your film?
The people who were going to put up the commission film.
The black community.
Yeah, they were black.
Why was he campaigning against your film?
I don't know. I met Jesse, and he don't like me, and I don't like him. I think he's a phony and a sellout and a white man's hoe. And he knows it. And I can only guess where he did it. But he did it. And if he was on fire, I wouldn't walk across the street to spit on him. Nigga ain't shit.
Well, there you go. So tell me how you really feel. So who
I'll tell you how I really feel.
Okay.
My attitude about Jesse is ambivalent. He put his life on the line early in the movement, and I have nothing but admiration for him. But somewhere along the line, he decided he wanted to go for the dope, and that's when he became a hoe.
And there you go. So, the director of the film, Ivan Dixon,
Yeah.
from Hogan's Heroes, the black guy in Hogan's Heroes, was he a friend of yours?
No, I met him when I was in Los Angeles talking to Clarence Williams III about playing the lead. And he was directing a segment of Mod Squad. Clarence told him I was in town, and he wanted to talk to me.
Clarence William III, who played Link in Mod Squad and Bumpy Johnson in American Gangster with Denzel Washington.
Right.
Okay.
And Clarence didn't want to tell him where I was. But Ivan said, look, I don't want to play the role, man. I want to direct you. And I'd love to direct you. So he called me up at the hotel where I was staying on Sunset Boulevard. And I said, come on back. He said, look, I'd like to direct the film. Well, at that time, I didn't know enough to direct myself. That would have just been an ego trip. I trusted Ivan, and I said, yeah. So we formed a partnership on a handshake.
So just with the handshake, you and Ivan Dixon decided that he was going to direct The Spook Who Sat by the Door.
Yes. And we would be co-producers.
Was that in one day of meeting him?
No, it took about 2 weeks.
But once you met him, you felt that he was the man for the job. What came across with Ivan Dixon that made you feel that he was the man to direct this cult classic, this iconic underground film that's so powerful? What made you think that he was the guy for the job?
Nothing but a man. I knew that nobody could play that role who wasn't who and what he was, not just an actor.
And that was a film, Nothing But a Man. And that was in the 60s?
Yes.
Okay, and when you seen that film and from talking to him, you knew he was the guy for the job.
Yes.
Did you think he did a great job in directing
I thought
it?
he did a fantastic job.
So what was your reaction when you seen the completed film?
I loved it.
Immediately.
Oh, yeah. And how we got Herbie Hancock is, Ivan one day said, hey, look, Sam, who you think we should have the right to score? I said, how about Miles? He said, no, Miles is too difficult to deal with. I said, then how about Herbie? He said, yeah.
Did you know Miles Davis?
No, I never met Miles.
But through the network, you knew you could get him for this, maybe.
Yeah, I knew he was a fan.
Okay, he was a fan of the book.
Yes. The jazz musicians love the Spook Who Sat by the Door.
Okay.
Because Spook Who Sat by the Door is jazz.
Definitely.
You know.
And blues and hip-hop and everything else, baby.
You can pop your fingers to it.
So
Yeah.
Herbie Hancock.
It just so happened Herbie grew up in my neighborhood, right around the corner from where I grew up,
Which was where?
on 63rd St. Lawrence, about 3 blocks away from here.
And Herbie Hancock grew up where?
On 62nd and Champlain. Furthermore, I used to date his older sister.
What? You used to date Herbie Hancock's older sister?
Yeah.
What? Early.
Named after his father. His father was Earl. And his first child was Early.
Was Herbie Hancock's father a jazz musician as well?
No.
Okay, so he had the skills that it took. Of course, you was a fan of Herbie Hancock. And did you seek counsel with him?
Well, we cut the footage we had together, sent it to him, and 2 weeks later we had a tape of the score.
And immediately you went for it?
Hell yeah. Right now. The man is a genius.
Yes, sir. So, did anybody try to stop production of the film?
No, they came in later. You know, once they found out how far along we were, it was too late for them to interfere, with the exception of Jesse. Now, I don't know if Jesse did it voluntarily or whether he was following order. I don't give a damn.
And you've never found out to this day? Even in the media, even in the speculation, there's never been a response to why he protested against your film?
I'm not going to speculate.
Okay.
I owe him that much.
All right. So
all I know is he did it. I don't know why.
So tell us, afterwards, they tried to ban the film. What was your reaction and how did that come about?
Well, when the film was... When United Artists saw the final cut, what we did is I haven't cut the action footage together. And he showed it to 5 of the 6 majors. 5 of them turned it down. You know, United Artists thought they had a blaxploitation film. They picked it up. When they saw the final cut, they went up the wall. My reaction was, look, we got a contract, put it out there. So they put it out on a cursory basis.
They didn't like it?
Hell no. Why would they like it? We were talking about kicking their ass. So they put it out on a cursory basis, and it jumped off the charts, man. So then they gave it a wider distribution, put me on the circuit to promote the film. Then we start hearing that FBI agents were visiting theaters